Hello everyone, this is Jake Makes Things, and today we're going to be looking at the core from the lockout tagout that we took apart in the last video. The core still works, we insert the key, and it still spins. It still unlocks, and everything still turns. Interesting thing about this core is it has holes on the bottom. So I cannot turn it past 180 degrees until I remove the key. And then I'm just going to use the tip of the key to turn it very carefully back so it's locked. So now we're going to take this thing apart. And we're going to start by unlocking it. I like to leave the key in, since that keeps the key pins up at the shear line, and it means I can just, if I need to, I can just move the core. So we're going to take off this O-ring, this retaining ring on the bottom. They do make a tool, I just do not have one that allows me to take that off yet. Alright, so now that's off. So now the plug, which is the center part here, will be able to slide out of the rest of the cylinder. And we're going to do this very carefully because if we mess this up, we dump pins all over. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure these pins are vertical. And then I'm going to turn just a touch past. Alright, and then I'll set the key off to the side. So we're going to slide the plug out very carefully. Oh, there's the first pin that comes out. That would be 6, and it is a spool pin. So I'm going to hold it very close to my camera. You can see it actually looks like a small spool. And a serrated pin in 5. I'm going to hold that up again. You can see those small cuts. Spool in 4. Spool in 3. Oh, that one went flying. Spool in 2. And a spool in 1. And we're just going to dump the key. Those are all the driver pins, and we're going to dump the key pins out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nothing too different there. Now we're going to dump the rest of the springs out. These springs are all standard. They do make pinning tweezers for this type of thing, but I also sometimes, at least as I'm starting, I like to use my hands. We have key pins. We have our driver pins, which I discussed at length in video 2. From 1, which is over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the springs are just standard springs, and as you can kind of see with the key, let me bring that over, the bitting is very crazy, just like the key. So now, if we insert the pins back into the plug, alright, so as I was doing that, the camera decided to slide off the table, so we now have the springs inserted. The first time I put this lock back together, between taking it apart and putting it back together, I think I dropped every single part once off of this table. Alright, so before I start inserting driver pins, I'm going to check and make sure the plug is the right way around. Alright. So one is there, and the way I do it is, since I don't have a core follower, I look at it backwards. So I'm going to insert, so we're still inserting 1 through 6. I'm going to come in from the back and insert 1. And we'll start with 1, and we'll put it in on this side as I proceed to drop it. Oh, as you can see, it kind of fell over into 2. There we go. But you can sometimes knock them with the tweezers till it hits 1. They make much better ways to do this. They actually make tools that will alright. There we go. So there's 1. So let's drop 2 inside. Oh, we're close. And you can see he's down in there. So we're going to push him down with our flat tool. And then slide the plug along. And I'm just going to rotate this plug slightly. Now we only have 4 left, and each pin gets a little bit easier as we go. There's 4. Oh, that one's seeming to like to jump around a little. Let's get that one all set. You can see he's sitting on top of the thing again. So then we'll just press that down. It's a little spring loaded, so if you release that pin, it jumps around a little. Again. We'll drop the last spool in 4, or the second to last spool in 4. I apologize, my hand is probably right in the way. And now you see we only have 2 holes left and 2 pins on our pinning mat. We're going to put the serrated back into 5. Great. And we're going to drop the spool. Oh. Supposed to go back into hole 6, not onto the table. Back into 6. Alright. Hopefully on that one you could get a really good view of the process that I do to drop that in. Then the more important step that you really don't want to forget is you want to then replace this retaining ring on the back of the cylinder. Because if you don't, you will pull the plug out of the core or the cylinder and pins will go everywhere. And I may be speaking from experience on that, but I will not confirm nor deny that. Alright, and there's that. And then we test it with the key, and it still works. So, if you would like to see more locks, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and most of all, have a nice day.